Sup Shredders, my name is Logan aka Spiderhands and welcome to SP Reviews, where today I'll be checking out a track by an act named SUMiT titled Dollars Matter. And if we switch over to here, we have ourselves the track on the screen on YouTube. We're going to be listening through this from start till finish. Going to hear what we think. Let's go. Let's do it. What do we got? Just going to check something first. Good save. Good fucking save, my dude. Let's double checking the sound levels and go.
So it's good for after, bro. Yo?
I love to pass. I can't catch it for like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
You know you're always going to have a good time when they have like a little sort of movie cinematic storytelling bit at the start. There's that little bit of upper video production.
I wanted to ask you, 2 nights ago, Miami, what happened with that video?
A little more finesse.
Gosh, bro. So we had Poppy for her birthday. They'd never been there. We got the steaks. They come out in the cage. She's freaking singing, dancing in her chair. Everybody's having a great time. Before we leave, we take a couple of shots, bro. I order us an Uber to the crib. So we're outside waiting for the Uber. Dude pulls up in a red Ferrari convertible. Tells this bitty to get in. She does. They peel off. I ain't heard from her since.
You're kidding me.
I just checked her IG.
That is fairly rough, man. I feel like that's like a horror story for a lot of dudes out there who are like, my car isn't good enough, but surely she'll like me for my personality, right?
She's with him now in Greece.
Hey, dollars matter, baby.
Something, I know it's a small thing, the fact that we had the filtering on the voices inside that little scene at the start sort of setting the scene for the rest of the track, I suppose. We have the filtering on the instruments as well, like the guitar parts, to match. I like the fact we're not just going straight into it with the bright elements there. Bring it in slowly.
SUMiT.
Dollars matter.
This is in person.
Fly is the slogan. Took the red eye out of Logan, arriving in Arizona before my eyes were awoken. Approaching to find shorty by where I could find the ocean. She took it like I was joking. I'm looking to buy some lotion. We're both in this.
Okay. Really slick audio production here. I love the clarity of the different instruments in the mix. Really great punch to those drum samples there. Kind of great groove with the 8th notes here and occasional 16ths. And the guitar parts inside as well as the vocal chops are welcome too.
CBS only one at the time that's open. Knew it would be a yes when she wondered if I was smoking. Said she could get a zippy. Added her name was Nikki. She stayed in a place with hippies. They came in from Mississippi. I said me and the fellas would dip in and hit it strippy. Before we check in the telly, she's welcome for coming with me. Honey said I was funny because she does have a hubby. But when we got to the club, she's the one who was grabbing money like moving the body, they're throwing dollars at her. Moving the body, they're throwing dollars at her. She moving the body, they're throwing dollars at her. That's when I knew that only the dollars matter. Home in the city.
Okay. Yeah, I suppose, when you think about it, there are probably people out there who are really sort of receptive to that kind of stuff and they'll adapt to the conditions. It's just how it is. I'm sure a lot of people will hear this and there'll be a lot of different reactions to it. I think that's the best kind of music, when people sort of care about it.
I think she's pretty. She thanked me, was looking over her shoulder. That's when it hit me. I've known her since we were kiddies. The corner when it was litty. Paloma, can't believe how you grown up. Now don't forget me. The moments we didn't know they were golden. Now what a pity. They're over. Let's stay connected through social. She goes to give me her phone. When I know this photo she posted, I'll show her titties. She's open. Now I'm hoping to close it in 45 or so. Before I was undecided, this shorty would let me slide. Something to put inside her. I misunderstood the vibe. She pulled up her OnlyFans and told me I should subscribe. Like,
damn, right? It's an interesting story hearing him talk about this woman that he had known since they were young, and then they're fully out there. They're adults and they're taking care of business and everything like that. It's a really interesting angle. Dollars matter. I like how there's these different women that he's talking to per verse, but it all comes back to that hook.
moving the body, they're throwing dollars at her. Moving the body, they're throwing dollars at her. She moving the body, they're throwing dollars at her. That's when I knew that only the dollars matter. Found the Judas, name honesty, I was clueless. She promised a round of booze if I knew where the fountain blew her. She wound it up in my Uber, was rude but it sounded cute as she spouted about some dude. I'm too new to this town to fool with. A few minutes in the lobby, I'm
Great flow as well. This guy's really comfortable on the mic there. The words are coming through nice and smoothly. It's important, you know, obviously with hip hop and rap to not only be able to have that speed, but also to have the precision with what you're saying with those syllables and consonants. We're nailing it.
asking her how her room is. Knew she was getting sloppy, made sure she was down to do this. Escalated it quickly, she maybe slipped me a Mickey. That's where the night gets hazy, I'm waking up with some hickeys. It's shady, now I'm sitting here naked like something's fishy. And not cause the bitch was stinking, she ain't even in there with me. Thinking about how friendly she was and knew how to tempt me. Check my phone, I had a text from the bank, my accounts were empty like...
Shit. Oh no. Such an engaging story, dude. It's not often that I listen to music that I review and I really care this much. This is the power of an audiovisual experience where we have someone who is clearly confident about the way that they rap and their music production is on point and the theme behind it with the whoa and that kind of stuff there, that speaking of whoa, you know, which is kind of interesting because a lot of the story is about woe as a concept, so even that's down pat. But it's also just that it continues to get kind of more and more dire. We're nailing everything. I got no real complaints about it at this point. Great personality to the performance as well. Getting a bit more desperate, you know?
Come on, big finale. After having 2 kids with Sally, she got me to settle down. I'm regretting us getting married. Her parents be up my ass about me rapping and living badly. We're at the crib in the valley. I'm acting as if I'm happy. Her daddy be cracking jokes and he laughed as he went to get me. Told him that shit was whack, should've practiced it in the bathroom. Gradually going crazy, calling me broken lazy. Her aunt said I'm overrated. I don't even know this lady. Cecilia, put a sock in it, will ya? I'll do it for you. Annoyed cause I think this dude looks familiar from paranoia. I wonder if you're some boyfriend of shorties, then I'll destroy you. Divorce her, he said I'll see you in court then cause I'm a lawyer. Dig in my pockets, I'm...
Oh, you're meeting the parents and you're not quite hitting that 6-figure mark or something like that, and you know the other person's nailing it, and suddenly, oh, the quality of life's improved. I don't really need this other person anymore. Damn, man, there is a strong narrative at play here. I don't know whether these are experiences that SUMiT's had personally or if he's just a great storyteller who's really like believable. But damn, dude.
Dollars at her. Kids in the college, I'm throwing dollars at her. Shit is for profit, I'm making wallets fatter. That's when I knew that only the dollars matter. That's when I knew that only the dollars matter.
You know, like honestly, like I like this guy. This is the first time I've listened to SUMiT music, and to be honest with you, like today, I just didn't feel like doing music reviews, but I'm glad I got into it and I stopped procrastinating because it was well worth it. Limitless Media.
Hey, that's all right. That's an L. No big.
And this is the way it ends, is it?
Last night, locked in. What happened with that baby?
Bro, that bitch just freaking ordered 3 drinks, put them on my tab, got a salad to go, and dip. Oh, shit. No, I got that, bro. I got that. Yeah, I got that. Oh, she took my wallet, too.
Damn, dude. Damn, dude. You know, what a video. What a time. Because this is the conclusion of my review of this track by SUMiT, titled Dollars Matter. Hang on a minute. There we go. I just wanted to get the title on the screen while I check this out. There will also be the album up there or something like that. But this track, as I understand it, and as we've probably figured out through watching this, is about a person, I think, who is having interactions with members of the opposite sex that they're quite into, and they're finding out there's a few tricks or shenanigans going on in various different ways. And it's basically, you know, going on a trip somewhere. The excitement is there. The take on the getting drugged and getting your bank account drained was an interesting take. Not to get too far away from the review, too often you find that there's stories of guys drugging women and then sleeping with them when they're unconscious and stuff like that. But for a woman to take a guy home and then drain their bank accounts, that's fascinating. That's fascinating. That's an alternate take on it, and I kind of like that. I think it's a nice sort of way of tying into the rest of it. You know, it's a really intimate insight into what SUMiT's all about, and you know, providing this is actually an experience they've gone through, or at least some of it's an interesting thing that they've gone through, which I feel bad for them, by the way. It sounds terrible. It makes it a really great listening experience, because we've got someone who is willing to sort of show some vulnerability whilst displaying their ability on the mic as a storyteller, as a music producer, and everything like that, and I'm blown away by it. The vocals were fantastic. The guy is clearly very polished with his technique there. The words came through clearly. It was mostly the rapping. There weren't sort of clean vocal parts, which I kind of appreciate, because, you know, there was a difference in the rhythmic delivery of the hook. You know, I realized the dollars matter part, and then the verses, it kind of reminded me a little bit of like parts of Rage Against the Machine's In the Name of, you know what I mean? Like, there was a really clear understanding of how to emote and communicate with the listener in a way that was authentic with the lyrics and the story being told, and I think that's just simply because he felt those words as he said them. So that was awesome. I really enjoyed the theme behind it as well, with those guitar parts, the really occasional bass, which allowed for more punchiness, so more presence for the kicks and those sampled snare parts, as well as the rest of the kit. I think that the vocal chops that we had occasionally as well were fantastic. I like there was a difference in approach to what we had going on with, you know, the core hooks versus the verses. Like, we had a difference in the change of pace or those rhythmic elements, and you know, when we came off of that hook with that intensity, that slow build there, the realization hitting harder and harder and harder until, especially near the end, in that last section where he talks about 2 years later with kids and like, or whatever, and like being at that family reunion or something like that, and there's nothing in the low end, and you're just floating there as in like a haze or something like that, watching your life flash before your eyes and then suddenly have it all fall apart. It's a wild ride, dude, and it's not often you get that in the space of 4 minutes, so kudos to SUMiT for that. I think that there was not a note out of place. The theme itself sounded very sort of moody and somber, and it definitely wasn't bittersweet. It was just kind of pissed off and frustrated, and like, yeah, you've had that realization, but at what cost, you know? That's the kind of vibe it gave for me, in terms of like the chord progressions that you had rolling along that main root note for most of it. I think not diverting from that main root note was a smart move, because it was kind of like that one note thing alongside the message being one note of realizing that the dollars matter. So there was a great sense of unity and synergy there. It's cool to basically have everything else going on with that. Again, the samples were recorded well in regards to the mixing and mastering of studio production. But I also want to clarify, just before we do that section, that I think that the 4-minute length of this track was well justified and well deserved. Often I need a little bit more in regards to the chord progressions or bass lines or different drum patterns or different like lead melodies and stuff like that. I need there to be like a diversion from that main concept musically in order to keep things entertaining over the 4 minutes, but because this guy was such a splendid storyteller, we didn't need that at all. It could be in part because I'm watching the video as well as the audio, but I have this sincere feeling that even if you listen to the music by itself, you feel damn near the same way. You know, like, we had a great clarity, precision to the vocals in regards to the actual recording of them. You know, they sounded nice and crisp, which is really, again, important for hip hop and rap, because you need to hear those words clearly. Nice amount of compression on them that allowed them to have a great presence on top of those guitar, bass, and drum parts there, as well as the vocal chops on the sides they have occasionally. And it was just wonderful. That sense of minimalism in the arrangement allowed for such a great amount of control, I think, over the mix. And when you consider that the other instruments were EQ'd and sort of filtered really, really well, there was a nice side chaining to the drums in the mix there that wasn't overwhelming or too, you know, quote unquote, too much. I think there were no weird resonances in the frequency spectrum. It was nice and wide in the stereo field. The leveling of the instruments within the mix alongside the vocals was great, and it was nice and loud without pumping, with a great amount of dynamic range, and you know, there was also a little bit of sort of vocal filtering in the start and end parts, which made you feel like you're part of the conversation after a few drinks. It's just clever, and there's a great sense of humor to it, and I think this is just, it's something that's a little bit extra, you know, and I really hope that SUMiT can keep this up, because that's effectively my review of this track, Dollars Matter by SUMiT. Hopefully you enjoyed it. If you did, please do go check out their various social medias and their YouTube page, and stay cool, stay safe, and please remember to support your local musicians and artists at this point in time, as they need the help more than ever with all the crazy stuff going on in the world, and I'll catch you in the next review. Spiderhands out.